Should it be legalized in the United States? Any speakers?
For what?
Polygamy.
Polygamy should be legalized.
Thank you for that insightful input.
Yeah.
Woo!
Why not?
Ross, respect the speaker, by the way. Don't make loud noises.
I just wanted to begin by saying that I think polygamy should be legal. First of all, because there are a lot of religions that allow polygamy and polygyny, and so to disallow that would be kind of breaching the sovereignty of that religion. So it's unfair to impose one's own moral system or moral code onto the national level, because the fact is that as a free country, we shouldn't be, disallowing any rights that people may have or people may think that they should have. So that's.
Any other speakers? Will.
Okay, hello. I'm going to argue against polygamy for the main reason that many of the people who are against polygamy are against it for the same reason they're against gay marriage. And that's because they say that marriage is between one man and one woman. And so, if you're going by that way of thinking, then it would also make no sense to have polygamy be legal as well.
Shaun.
I'd imagine one partner eventually gets boring, so why not multiple ones?
There you go.
When I think of love as one main thing. You can't make it different, you can't change it for anybody. And so I find it definitely possible to love multiple people. It obviously depends on your upbringing, and there are different circumstances that change your beliefs. But you said that marriage is defined as a union between a man and a woman. Well, it depends where you look for your definitions. Alright, certain religions, Mormonism, Islam, are definitely okay with polygamy. Other religions are not. So it depends on your upbringing, but the US should not say that you can't do these things. Because, again, it goes against certain people's beliefs, and it goes against certain people's beliefs to say that you can't have polygamy.
I'd just like to point out, guys, that the Church of Latter-day Saints, or more commonly known as the Mormon Church, does not condone polygamy anymore. So, Islam still does, so hey.
Yeah, so under the base.
Islam, yeah.
So polygamy.
I'd like to say that I think polygamy is just fine if you want to do it personally, but I don't think we should put it as a law that it is allowed, because there are certain systems in the law, in the jurisdiction area, where it depends on this simply marriage being a man and a woman. And also polygamy, if you think about it in a morality point of view, there's nothing really wrong with it if they want to do it themselves. Just, I think if they want to do it, it should be more legal. You should go to a judge and have both spouses agree.
Okay. So I'm against polygamy, and for a few pretty good reasons. Last year for a symposium, I worked with the polygamy group a lot because my cousin and my girlfriend were both doing that project, so I learned a lot about polygamy through that research. And what you find is that most of the women who are engaged in polygamous relationships develop feelings of like loneliness and jealousy towards they call them sister wives. And I mean, I think it's disgusting if we're going to treat men like they're gods and give them like dozens of women each, because that's just wrong. Because to me, a child should be raised by two parents, not a whole committee of people. The families, like the countries that do support polygamy are often really underdeveloped and rely on like chieftain and like tribal like ways of life. Which, if we're going to go back to like barbaric pagan like marriage regulations, then we're going to be taking quite a few steps back.
Just to like touch up on his point, it's you can't really use the feelings of the wives as like a basis, because we're not saying, well, you have to be, you have to marry this man with all these other wives. If they feel lonely, if they don't like it, they don't have to be in it.
Okay, I just wanted to say that, of course you were saying that, some wives do feel like, they're, jealousy and all, but you went on a little rant saying that I don't think it's right. Well, you have to understand, that's your own personal moral code. I was back over there and I was saying that you
can't impose any one moral code on, anybody else. Like, for example, in Islam allows polygyny only and only if the man has the ability to support the wives. Now, the historical context of this was that the battles in, like Saudi Arabia, what happened was that they were not allowed to kill any, women or children. So there were a lot of women and children on the streets. So what happened was that they were taking these women in and they were marrying them to give them a home, right? So the fact is that it's not really a tribal chieftain patriarch, as you were saying. It's as much showing love to anybody. If, someone feels they can marry 2 women, and if both women are okay with that, why should that be a breach of any of your moral conduct because someone else is, doing that? Like, that's just something I wanted to point out.
You want to respond to those 2 points?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So you said in the back, I don't know your name. What is it? Okay. Like you said, they have the choice to. In fact, most of the time, they live in communities that are heavily polygamous, and they don't really have the choice to because they'll be shunned entirely by their families and their culture, completely. Similar to like a heavily anti-gay society coming out of the closet to them. You're going to be horrifically shunned, and they can't leave because that will also bring them massive amounts of dishonor, and they're bound by that honor code to do what their husbands want, and they're raised around it. It's their culture that they're brought up in, and like Faraz said, I may think that's wrong, but their culture dictates that it's right, and so they can't just leave that. Even if they do develop feelings of unhappiness about it, they have to put up with what their culture wants. And like you said, you're right, it is a lot different for countries that are Islamic, but we don't really have the kind of case here where we have tons of women and children on the streets, at least as much as countries that are war-torn have. Right, that's it.
Well, you don't think we should play off of what the Islamic religion says, and I don't think we should just play off of what no offense to you, what you say, or what our people say. I say we play off of what our country was established and said, which is that there is a separation between church and state. I personally do not believe in polygamy, only for the factor of, okay, let's say that it's completely legalized right now. I don't know how it works with states and or it's in California or it's in Florida. I don't know where it is or how it is or whether it's legal. But if we legalized it, should we also put down, okay, when you apply for your taxes or you apply for dependents, are you going to say, I have 5 wives, should I be exempt from taxes because I have this many wives? I don't think you should be able to do that. So I think for the sake of maintaining the semi-organized fashion of our tax system, I don't think that polygamy should be allowed.
You were talking about the cultures, but those are different countries. We're talking about America and about the people in America. Our American culture is mostly monogamous, so the people here wouldn't be pressured to be in polygamous relationships.
I agree with what you were saying and you were saying, because I believe that it's almost disorderly to just go out there and marry as many people as you want, and like he said, you can also just abuse the tax system like people do in certain ways right now. On top of that, you could go out, get 6 wives and divorce, or you go out and a wife might want some alimony or child support, go out and marry several different men all at once, and then just divorce them all like someone who would do, but it just allows them to get more money from more people faster in a lot of different ways. And it opens too many loopholes for people to abuse the system that we have developed. So I think if we do allow it, it should be on a case-by-case scenario. It should not be completely legalized in our entire country.
Okay, you guys know it's already hard enough right now for one man and one woman to get along by itself, or 2 guys or 2 women, whatever. But so you already have high enough divorce rates. Imagine if you're one man and 7 women. You know how hard it's going to be to please every single one of them? You have to go up to their own agendas and what one woman wants and the other one wants. It's hard enough to do with one. Imagine 7 or 3 or 70 or whatever your number is.
up that I learned just yesterday. Humans originally weren't meant to be monogamous. What happened back when we were in our beginning stages of humanity, women specifically would have multiple partners so that if they were to have a child, then the father wouldn't know who the child was because there were so many other guys who got with this girl. And so the thought behind that was that if the man knew who the child was, then he wouldn't be out hunting and gathering. He would try to get involved in the child's life. But the truth is that's not how we work today. And so there's no need for polygamy to be legal because there's just no need.
A question, is this on whether polygamy should be, polygamous marriage should be legal or just polygamy in general?
Polygamy in general.
All right. Hi.